Yo everybody, it's Heat Override and I'm ready to bring the pain for you this week. Took a little time off after the Halloween, had some real good fun, but guess what? I'm back to it this week, so let's get to it. Ooh yeah! Yo everybody, it's Heat Override. So let's get to it. Bring the pain! What's up? How's everybody doing today? Yo, it's Friday. It was like 60, 70 degrees here in Erie, PA, and that is what it's all about. Yo, I'm just going live. We just want to spit. I was going to do a live video, but since Miss Chrissy Ray is doing a live paparazzi right now, I don't want to take all the internet, even though we got good internet. Believe me, sometimes when I hook everything up, it gets a little crazy. Anyway, I hope everybody's having a good time. Is ready to have a good weekend. It's going to be like 70 here. Yo, it's like, you just can't even explain that. If it's 70 in November in Erie, PA, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah!
So, this episode, I want to do a little bit about dreams. So I have some crazy dreams, and I know a lot of yous have crazy dreams. And I'm not going to be looking up no doctor experts, because that'll just make this really long and stuff like that. So I just want to talk about, just regular dreams and things that I've had for a very long time. So, as you know, I'm a crazy motherfucker. And at the same time, when this dude turns off, at the same time, other things, open up. So so pretty much, dreaming, everybody dreams. People don't remember dreams. I remember dreams. What's really fucking crazy is that I actually remember dreams from other dreams, and I learn from other dreams in my dreams, and then remember the things from my other dreams in my dream. Did you catch that? Oh, yeah. And I use them to my advantage in the next dream.
Brother!
So, that being said, this is just crazy. So, they say, the mind enters a state trance, and then, you kind of replay a lot of things that you've experienced over the years. But what's crazy is my dreams actually sometimes predict the future. And I think a lot of you might do that. And I don't know if that's just a, happenstance, or if it's just things that happen. But at the same time, I'm gonna explain a few of my dreams that I've had recently that I think would make awesome fucking movies.
Hell yeah!
And, that's what it's all about. So let's get to it. So, like me, again, crazy, jacked up, all in, ooh yeah. I had, over the years, I've always just, had the superhero dreams. You're flying, you always fight the villains, you do all these things. But then kind of like my dreams took like this dramatic movie-like appearance for the recent times. So let's just use one example. So there was this like dinosaur apocalyptic world that I was in. So, it was me and it was Chrissy Ray. And I'm like, all right, well, fuck. So we're like, it's dark. It's definitely nighttime and buildings are rummaged and we're getting chased by a T-Rex. So, of course, there was other parts of the dreams. I'm not, you don't remember everything, but what I remember is pretty crazy. So as we were getting chased by this dinosaur, I'm like, yo, I was like, I thought to go up. I didn't really think about it. But so, we start running up. And I get to like the second to the third floor kind of thing. This is a big building. And I hear this through the window. And I turn around and Chrissy Ray is gone. Straight gone. And I'm like, whoa! Because I popped up right immediately. And I'm like, oh my God. Right? So you sleep many nights and you just come back to this like little thing right here. And then next thing you know, all right, we get to the next thing. I'm like, all right. So I start having this dream again. And I'm like, I remember it vague, just completely. And I'm like, oh shit. And I start to go running up the stairs again. And I go, Chrissy, stop. No, let's not do that. Let's go down. So we went down into the basement, right? And I heard the boom. Like, what was that? And we were in the basement. And the dream goes on from there. We end up getting out there and getting into a car. And then we speed away. Of course, the dinosaur left because it couldn't really do anything. It was a bigger building. But how? That's the crazy part about it, is how I was able to fucking remember from another dream. The mistake that I made in another dream, I remembered in a dream. So, you know, you can look about a lot of things like that, and you don't know what really to take from it. But for me, it's like, all right, well, what's the next one? All right. So, you know, let's move ahead to another memorable dream. So I was in this like kind of world. It was like, there was this like, it was a huge hill, best way to explain it. And like on all the hills, it was like, I guess like adobes or whatever, you know, houses, huts. And at the top, there was this huge mansion. I mean, this mansion was beautiful, had so many rooms, and everything was crazy. Well, what was crazy about it is the mansion was kind of the front. So as you looked out the backyard was actually enclosed like the Roman Colosseum. And the name of the mansion was Adno, which is my mom's name backwards, Linda. And it was really strange because she came to me in this dream. And I didn't know really, I actually woke up from this dream crying because she was talking to me. And I was like, Mom, like, what's going on? She's like, this is where I am now, you know? And I'm like thinking, is this heaven? You know, the pillars around the yard, and the yard was beautiful. And the whole back of the house, and at one point, it was all glass. And you could see it. And there's people out there playing. So it must have been heaven. Like, I don't know what else it would be, but that being said, like, it was one of those things that I couldn't really understood.
What?
I said, understand? Yeah. So, you know, it was really weird, like, getting up there. I remember driving up this huge hill and stopping at each, like, level and talking to a lot of the people. And they told me that, you know, to get to it, you can't go straight up like that. You had to go up this other road. So you had to travel down one of the side roads. You know, and then you get to a road that went back up again, and then that was the road that kind of went through some mountains to get to this top of this big mountain where this mansion was, or this utopia, you could call it. But I remember talking to my mom, and it was good. And this is one of I gotta say, I've had this dream in the last year or so, and it was one of those things to where, you know, you start just, you don't really talk about just like what's going on in the world, or like I could talk about my daughter, like that she never got to meet and everything like that. It was more just talking. It was just like, hey, how's things going, and how are you doing, and you know, like, doing good. And you know, we just started talking, and I said, what is this place? And she said, this place is a magical place, and that's why the house was so crazy, because like when you went through the house had like 3 levels. It had an elevator in it. And on each level, you could walk this flight of stairs up each set of elevators, or between each set of elevators. And here's the crazy thing is I actually had this dream again. So as I had the other dream, I was able to actually explore more of the mansion.
Brother!
So, you know, and I got to talk to her again in that other dream as well. But the funny thing is just naming a mansion Adno, like, that's crazy. And it's funny how dreams really work when they, you know, talk to you, or you relive maybe memories like that. Of course, we could explain that this was maybe a utopia that my mind decided to create, so I was protected when I was talking to my mom. But I woke up crying. And that's how powerful dreams can be. So, you know, let's really, what really got me going into this episode was my recent dream. So my recent dream was, we were at a wedding. It was me and Chrissy Ray and, you know, our daughter, and I was part of it. And there was a whole wedding crew, okay? And this is why this was I thought this was a really cool movie, kind of like freaky kind of thing that happened. So, you know, we go to this bar, and we're all sitting around, and we're having a good time. And But there was a bet. There was a bet. So amongst the men, there was a bet that, you know, the loser had to wear a dress to the bar. So I lost, unfortunately. And after I lost, so I was in this bar, and this other table, right? There's these people. And I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, all right. And they look over, and they're like, hey, dude, you know, like, oh, you must have lost a bet. And then they seen the wedding party, so they knew it was a crazy little thing. And I was like, yeah, this is great. So literally, like, this happens for, like, the first half hour of the movie, this bar scene. So you're having a good time, and people are doing things, and you play games, and then there's pool, and, you know, and then, you know, everybody goes, all right, well, let's get ready to go. The bride and groom got to go. I don't know who the bride and groom were. So that's you know, just what dreams can do to you. Leaves things open, good plots. So everybody goes, all right, we're going to go outside, and we're going to wait for you. Well, I go outside before they go outside, and I smoke a bowl. I don't know why, but I did. So dreams have a way of doing things. So I come back in, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to use the bathroom. I'm going to get out of here. So I go into the bathroom, and I come out. And it's almost like the same thing. Well, the guys at the table, they kind of dispersed at the same time, too, the people that were at the table. And it was pretty much, the bar was empty. I was like, wow. So then in comes another party, about another bridal party. And wouldn't you know it, one of the fucking guys was dressed as, you know, had a dress on. And I'm like, yo. And they see me, and he's like, what? And he's like, yo, did you lose a bet or something, dude? And I'm like, yeah. I'm with the wedding party out there. I was like, this is funny. Like, how could two wedding parties just have, you know, some guys that do that? And they're like, oh, like, well, at least do a shot with me before you go. I was like, all right, well, it was cool. So me and this guy in the dress, we did a shot. So then I walk outside, and nobody's around. Nobody. Everybody's gone. And I'm like, okay, that's strange. Like, what just happened? And my buddy John appeared out of nowhere and goes, hey, how's it going, dude? I was like, it's going good. How you doing? He's like, doing good. He's like, why are you dressed like that? I was like, I was in a wedding. He goes, whose wedding? So, you know, I'm like, well, okay. He's like, well, I got some clothes in my back of my car. I don't know why he had clothes. They wouldn't even fit me. He's way bigger than me. So I put on the, you know, I grab the clothes, and I, you know, put it on, and yeah, I'm good. And he goes, man, you need some money, dude. I'm like, what do you mean money? So he hands me this Canadian-looking money, like this pretty-ass money. I was like, man, this is fake as shit. He said, Rob, this is money. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? So I had no ride, and so he goes on his way. Of course, in real life, he would give me a ride home. So I'm lost. I don't know what's going on. And I'm thinking, I'm like, what just happened? So at this point, I go, well, I'm going to go home. So I walk home. And I get home, and I knock on the door. Because the door was locked. I couldn't go in. And my daughter answers the door, about 10 years older. And she just drops her jaw. And she goes, where have you been? And I go, what do you mean? She goes, you've been gone for 10 years. And I'm like, how have I been gone for 10 years? You're so big now, so this is really confusing at this point. And then Chrissy Ray comes out. Apparently she had remarried at this point. And I'm like, what the hell? And she goes, everybody thought you were gone. We don't know what happened to you. You disappeared that night. We couldn't find you. We searched for you. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I'm like, this is a good dream too. So I'm just, at this point, I just want to, you know, grab a fucking beer and sit back and watch this motherfucker. So I keep on about it. And I'm like, okay, all right. And the guy comes out, he introduces himself, and he goes, dude, like, I don't know what to say to you, because, like, literally you've been gone for so long. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I mean, I got to clear my thoughts. So I start walking down this other way, and I see, I'm just skipping rocks. I don't even know where. Sorry about that. But I'm skipping rocks. I'm just jumping. So then, I have superpowers, so I start leaping and leaping and running faster and faster. What this kind of like reminded me was like when Superman has started, he had lost Lois in the earthquake, and he started spinning the world back around, and then was able to, do that. And it was kind of like a hurting feeling. I was just running, and then I noticed this little boy over to the left of me, and he started doing the same thing too. And he was kind of looking at me, and we were kind of like feeling each other out in a way, and we kind of just were like, all right. So we kept leaping, and at one point, we just leapt for so long. We were tired, so we got down, and there was a creek between each set of, rock formations that we were leaping on, which feel like they went forever. And he takes a drink, and I go, hey, how are you doing? What are you doing out here? And he goes, I'm just out here too, just like you. And I was like, what do you mean, just like me? And the person goes, the kid, he goes, you're one of the people who shifted dimensions. And I looked at him and I was like, what do you mean shifted dimensions? So like, next thing you know, I'm like, what? What do you mean? So then I go back. When I went to the bathroom, I actually shifted into another dimension. When I came out, what I can take from this, what I watched, what I witnessed, was that the other bridal party with the guy, that was another instance of that happening, and I was that. But in that time period, the person that I was, me, in that dimension, had been missing for 10 years.
What?
10 fucking years.
Hell yeah!
Now, what do you got to say to that? Like, I can't even, sometimes think about these things. It's crazy how awesome and amazing my dreams are, and how in touch how powerful you can be, how much time, you spend in a dream and everything like that. And they say they only happen, every so often. But, how do you do that? How does that happen? And, you can do all these tests, and you can read all these books about dreaming and everything, but I think that nothing really, when it comes down to it, it's about your experiences, it's about the thing. But seriously, that was a really cool movie. How I would love to end that movie, of course, is I would love that, the way he would come back. And I think at some point, he reestablishes himself, the main character, after meeting the boy. They establish themselves, and I think at some point, I think that the paradigm, or whatever you want to call it, shifts back, and I think it all goes back to that bathroom. And I think that really relates to people, because I think sometimes when you travel one path, you might get a premonition of what that path might be, so that you learn from your dreams, that you learn from maybe past mistakes or anything like that, that you could also, change. And I think at that point, when you go back out and you see all the people who didn't really leave you, and they're all there, and everything's back, and you don't miss 10 years of your daughter growing up, and you know that you just had a crazy, crazy dream. And that somehow, some way, no matter how everything worked out, you were actually the main thing. You were in another dream. So, sorry about that. Had a little crazy in the background. Daughter's getting crazy. Sometimes, you got house life. So, the dreams, they always have a meaning. And I've always looked to my dreams to see what I can pick from them for the future of what you can do with your life. So, I could go on about other dreams I have, but I think the most intriguing things about dreams are, if you know how to sleep, or you really enjoy sleep, or you're comfortable sleeping, you're not a toss and turner, is that you can actually, learn from the dreams. You can actually be part of the dreams. You can actually, live for the dreams. And that's not saying get addicted, take some sleeping pills just so you can have some dreams, because you might not have a dream. It's really just a kind of a weird thing that kind of happens. It's sporadic, but when it happens, especially with someone like myself, it's more than just a dream. It's a whole movie. It's a lifestyle. You know, I go back to this other dream I had. It was really crazy. It was this huge like this dream, right? It was this huge place, and so there was this huge sea creature they had below it. It was pretty much like a leviathan, and they kept it trapped under the water in this like place with all these electromagnetic metal plates. So the electric ran through the top of the water, pretty much through the plates only, so it didn't shock, I guess, the beast, or it couldn't really hurt the beast. And it was, you know, one of those things where you're sitting there and you're like, all right, so you could walk, but you could see through these things too. So you could see this thing just coming around, but it could never hit it. If it hit those things full blast, and it tried, it would scare the shit out of you, but it wouldn't do anything. You couldn't even feel it. So you can see where this is going. Ends up being that, you know, some people try to take over this plant. So then everybody kind of gets spread out. You know, people are in different places, and it's like and the next thing you know, the electric goes off, and then all the plates are still there, but the thing kind of doesn't always test. It was sleeping, so there came this one point where, like, you know, we're getting chased by the people. We have to go across the thing. Now, the people knew, so we go running across, and the plates are not stable at all. And it wakes this thing up. So this thing comes up, kind of behind us, and through the frickin' plates. So the plates get discombobulated. We get to this. There's this tower in the middle, a big tower in the middle. So we, you know, hold our breath and we go down. We swim down while this thing is over there messing with these people, and they're shooting because that's taking the thing. And then it sees us. So we get in this door real quick, and we go to the top of the watchtower. And we could just see this thing going around in circles, just evil. So then we start making this how we're going to get out of here thing, and guess what? Wake up. You wake up. And that's dreams for you. And I think that sometimes these dreams would make great movies. I mean, I can sit here and speculate this whole time and tell you what I would do, what I would take, and the kind of direction I would go to make that a better dream, and to how to make that dream a movie, actually. So I really want to pitch it to, like, you know, like a couple people, because I'm like, you know, like, I know some people that kind of make some films, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, if I can pitch this to him and he could somehow articulate it into like a drama, kind of sci-fi fantasy kind of thing, that would be really cool. That would be really cool. But hey, guess that's a dream. And I guess that's what we all have.
Ooh, yeah!
Oh, man. But, you know, there's always sometimes that dreams can...
At lunch, we get a very special treat from a very special guy. A guy who has dedicated his life.
It's time for things that make me a jerk!
Things that make me a jerk! Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Yo, sometimes dreams are jerks. They bring up hurtful things from the past. Maybe like a moment that you don't want to relive. A bad decision. A car accident. Things that make dreams jerks. You know, I think that's how you heal. We don't want to deal with that. Get that out of here, man. And things that make dreams jerks, they end too fast. I want to see the ending. Really, freaking punk ass dream all ending early. I want to see how that last dream ended, man. I want to see if that, or just maybe life goes on, and the main character never gets back to his original, dimension, and then that he lives his life, the rest of his life, not really being able to know his daughter or his ex-wife because they moved on because he had disappeared. But really, who disappeared was the character that you were in that world. So that character that person ends up in another world, which that's a part 2 right there. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, yeah. Yeah. And that's why things that make dreams jerks are just that. You know, I hate it when, like, all of a sudden, like, you get that when you're, like, running real slow or you can't fly. And then, like, you have to really, like, strain. Like, in all my dreams, for me to fly, I have to really concentrate. So, you know, like, it's crazy when you fly in a dream, too. So that's things that make dreams jerks. You end too fast. You always bring up bad memories. And they always know how to bring the pain! Yeah. Well, this was a nice, sweet, short one. Sorry for any distractions. I'm going to go back and, you know, and do my thing. But I hope you have, if you got a dream story you want to tell me below. Leave a video or leave a comment, you know, and like and follow. Check me out on my Patreon. You know, I give out a lot of great content over there. So, you know, www.patreon.com/Bring the Pain. You can also find my Bring the Pain line on TeePublic. I got to get into editing some more because I got to get some new. I need a new line. I still love my original concept and everything of my art, so I'm always going to have that. But, you know, sometimes I need some other things. Like I want, you know, things that make me a jerk shirt. I want that, and that's where I want to take it. And also, you know, check out my YouTube and I have a Discord now. You Bring the Pain. You know, you can find that, and I'll start posting that inside there. And of course, my Twitch. I'm really about to get into some Twitch. What happens though is we end up doing a lot of things during the daytime, so I can never really stream. And then, like, by time, you know, say Miss Chrissy Ray jumps on to her paparazzi, I can't take it takes too much bandwidth. The one time I went live and it was crazy, I was draining so much bandwidth. She was skipping, and that's not good for her. Plus, she's doing that to make money, so, you know, I got a side piece to that. So check us out. Give me a like, man. Like, I got all these downloads and I have all these likes, but I don't get, like, I won't get the follow or I don't get the comments, and I'm like, yo, you're coming to my page, just put me a star, give me a rating. So find me at Bring the Pain on Facebook and Bring the Pain on Twitter. Twitter's just like most my little side thing too. So, you know, a lot of my main things I do are on my Heat Override Twitter part, but do check it out. Get to that Facebook page because I always got stuff popping there. And my Patreon, and, you know, you get my DFS write-ups. You get the light version for free on Bring the Pain and Married with DFS, and you get the full version on Bring the Pain. If you're, you know, just heating up $2, if you're a Heat Overwrite, you're $5 a month, and a Pain Bringer is $10. You know, and being a Pain Bringer, you get a gift. So that being said, I hope everybody has a good night, and always remember to bring the pain. Ooh yeah! Yo, everybody, it's Heat Override. So let's get to it. Bring the pain!